Virgo, hi. So this is going to be a reading for mid-June 2023, and I'll do the reading for you and then I'll close it off with a oracle card. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended at the end of the video. You can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. All right. Oh, hold on. There you go. Let's see what's up, Virgo. All right, the overall energy for the reading, the Knight of Pentacles. Trying to move slow through whatever's happening right now, whatever you're dealing with, you know, kind of giving it that sense of let's take it one day at a time, let's move slow through things. A lot of practicality through it too, which when sometimes there's too much practicality, things become a little more difficult. That's how your reading starts. The Ten of Wands crossed by the King of Swords. So again, a little too much, being too practical may make things a little difficult. And I see that happening at times, not all the time, because I see you kind of having things down here, grounded. All right, let's get going here. But sometimes you go overboard with that sense of, no, it has to be this way, you know? And that's when things become quite hard. In your focus here, the Queen of Swords. So definitely dealing with someone that's kind of like, it almost feels like teamwork here. So whatever it is you got going on, the both of you are kind of under the same frequency there. In the recent past, the Seven of Wands, a lot of rejection, a lot of disagreement possibly with, well, within this dynamic or with a lot of things that, you know, the other person may have brought to the table. In your strength here, the Eight of Wands, honest communication, possibly that's what's making things better. In the immediate future, the Two of Pentacles. This kind of comes through as an energy of too much on your plate, you know, maybe taking too much on. And I don't feel like you are taking too much on. I feel like you feel like you're taking too much on, you know? So that's a little bit of a difference there. Seven of Cups for the supportive energies. Definitely always remember you've got choices. Whatever happens, whatever choices you're making, they're your choices. And that's where things are going to go according to those choices. But it's almost coming through as a reminder. Like, you know, don't forget that no matter how overwhelming it may get at times, don't forget you have choices. The energy that surrounds you at this time, and you may not be aware of it, which is quite interesting, is happiness. You know, whatever it is that you're pulling through here is for happiness, is because it makes you happy or because you want to be happy. And I feel like a lot of the times you may forget that. In your hopes and fears, just wishing for a balanced energy here. And for the potential outcome, the Nine of Wands. A little bit of defensiveness there. A little bit of, oh, it's kind of hard. I don't know if I want to do that. You know, so I don't know. Let's clarify. Let's see what's up. Let me see the Knight of Pentacles. The World card, the Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Cups. All right, so I have no idea what's happening here. I just see movement in, let's say the way I see this is you and somebody else attached to you moving in the same direction, you know, at the same time, in the same direction, pursuing the same goals. So whatever this is actually very healing, and it's actually leading you every time back to you, back to self-love. So it could be that through this experience, you may be reminded a lot of times, hey, you know, take care of yourself through this process and things like that. Because I do see you that in the past, maybe you neglected that aspect a lot. None of that anymore, though. It looks like it's a little different this time around, where you're kind of acknowledging that, yeah, I should put myself first a little more, you know? Let's do the 10 of Wands. The Magician, the Lovers, the Knight of Wands. Yeah, there's a connection you're dealing with here, and it's quite powerful, quite strong, but, you know, the intensity of it sometimes may feel too much. Even when it's good, just because it's shown up so intense and so, ooh, this is good, this feels nice, let's move forward with it and all of that. And again, despite the fact that it feels nice, it may feel heavy too at times, you know? Because I feel like it's quite fiery, quite passionate, which is very contradictory with the energy that's here now for this, which is very grounded. So it's kind of like giddy up and go in a very slow environment. So that could, in itself, that could make it quite difficult to deal with. Let's do the King of Swords. You get the King of Swords again, the Three of Cups, the Nine of Swords. Again, basically the same goal, just different approaches, different energies that are being put into this. But the goal is the same, the mindset is the same for whatever this is. So it's kind of like, again, a sense of teamwork here. Just you have a very different approach than they do, you know? That's the only difference. And because at times you forget that aspect, or they forget that aspect, or the both of you forget that aspect, things might get difficult, you know? Because if you're moving slow and someone's moving right with you towards the same thing, because they're passionate and fiery, more passionate and fiery than you, they might move faster. So you're like, hey, where are you going? What's going on? What's the rush, you know? Not understanding, hey, that's their energy. They're supposed to go that way because that's their energy, you know? So, interesting. Let's do the Queen of Swords in your focus. Man, who is this? Very fiery person. And I'm not even sure if they're a fire sign. They don't even have to be. But they're definitely showing up quite, dude, lit up, you know, in comparison with a more practical, grounded kind of an energy. So for the Queen of Swords, King of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords. But the 10 of Pentacles there could indicate many things, but one of the most important things, to me at least, when I read this is that this is someone that's by your side, you know, that either wants to build a stable environment with you or carry that energy of, I want to do this with you, or they're already in that energy with you. Whoever this is, even them, they feel the need to slow down. It's like, you know, sometimes I get so that, you know, I need to calm down here. There's definitely a need for slowing down. In kind of every angle I look at this, from you, from them even, they're still showing up with this fiery energy. But anyways, let's do the 7 of Wands in the recent past. The Temperance card, the 7 of Wands, the King of Cups. There's been a lot of resistance to learning from this in the past. And I feel like recently maybe you or them or the both of you started to open up towards more learning from this experience of togetherness than, you know, going against it. Because I feel like that's what happened in the past there. So the intensity of the fights or disagreements or, you know, at one another might have been substantially higher than what it is now. Because the perception has changed. You know, the perception is not, where are you going without me? You're always in a rush. Now it's like, it's starting to sink in more into, they need to go fast. You know, that's their energy. That's who they are. So, very different approach. And that's going to change things, possibly for the better here. Let's do the 8 of Wands in your strength, the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, the 5 of Swords. It feels like sometimes within this communication, this open, honest communication between the two of you, it feels like that part still needs some work. There's still difficulty there to open up. It feels a lot of times That's what one of you is trying to tell me here, that, you know, I feel like I'm not connected to my heart. But I'm gonna call them out on that. I don't know if it's you or them. At this point, I don't know who that is. You know, I'm 50-50. This is a time where if you think it's you, you would know. If it's them, it's them. But it's definitely a sense of, you know, like me talking to someone and them telling me I'm not able to connect with my own heart to see how I truly feel about things. And again, this is a time where I call them out because I see the Five of Swords there. So it's kind of like you're lying. You are connected to your heart. You just need to be honest with yourself about what you see in there, you know? And as you do that, things will get a little easier in communicating that as well. Because I feel like that brings a lot of difficulty into this honest communication that is trying to come through. Let's do the Two of Pentacles in the immediate future. The Tower, the Hangman, the Seven of Cups. Someone's really procrastinating here. Someone's trying to buy time. It's kind of like me telling you, hey, you need to make up your mind about this situation. And you're like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Give me like a week and I'll give you the final answer within this next week. And then, you know, I give you the 1 week, but you hold off until those last 10 minutes of the last day of that 1 week, you know, to give an answer. And that creates difficulty. That creates a sense of the more you delay your answer to this, the more you delay you actually accessing that clarity over whatever is being asked of you. So the more you put it off till last minute, the more you won't know. Because this kind of looks like whatever is being asked of you here feels like you already know the answer. Why would you need to postpone so much, you know? Why would you need to buy time for this? Why would you need to think about it when you already have it? So, okay. Another contributing factor to a possible difficulty in communicating honestly here. Because I see difficulty on both sides. You know, first there's that one person that says, I'm not connected to my heart, so I don't truly know how I feel. And then there's this other person, which is the other person, of, yeah, give me a week. And then they take, you know, they take till the last minute to make up their mind about things. For the Seven of Cups, for the supportive energy, you get the Three of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles. Easy breezy. You know, the bottom line is the both of you want to go in the same direction. The both of you have the same goals for this direction. The both of you want the same things. How you approach those things is very different. And because it's different, a lot of the times don't figure that part out. And they kind of bump heads along the way to the point of this is too much bumping heads. It's not working out. Goodbye. You know? So this is just a delay, and not a nice delay either. A delay in collaborating, a delay in working together in a more healthy way, you know? Because ultimately, the both of you have choices, that's right. But are you taking everything into consideration when you're making those choices? You know, or are you taking into consideration just the butting of heads and the energy's not working out, and then being like, I don't know why it's not working out, but it's not, and I don't want to do this anymore, you know? So, yeah, choices. But when making those choices, are you fully informed of what's going on here, or fully acknowledging what's at play, you know? Let's do the Sun for the hidden energies, the Queen of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. This is very similar to Taurus reading. In a lot of earth signs lately, especially, it's shown up like this, which is not necessarily surprising, but so happiness, the concept of happiness. If I were to ask you, what does happiness represent to you? I would assume somewhere in your answer, somewhere within your sentence, you would give me at least an indication of feeling surrounding happiness. Not thinking, you know? And you are signs, for some reason, you especially now, are coming with this notion of, well, you know, we got to do everything possible in our power, practically speaking, to create happiness. And I'm like, what the hell is practicality doing in the same sentence with happiness? You know? You keep on pushing this energy of logic and practicality over happiness. And I'm like, can you think happiness or do you actually feel happiness? Because if you can think happiness, you know, you think happiness and then you poof, you're happy. I would go with that. But I don't think that's possible. And you're pretty stubborn about it too. Like, yeah, I'll make it happen. I'll be the one to make it happen. Yeah. Okay. But try not to, because it's probably not going to work. So, lay off the practicality if you want to feel the happiness, you know. Let's do the Justice card in your hopes and fears. The Ten of Swords, the Death card, the Emperor. Too much control is just going to fuck things up. And I'm just going to be honest about it. I'm just going to lay it over for you to kind of hear that out loud. Because I feel like you know that. To some extent, I feel like you know that. You know, too much control, too much practicality, too much logic, almost no feeling to things will bring things down. And I feel like you've experienced that already. And, you know, whether you've done it or it's been done to you, same thing. And you're trying to find a balance where, you know, to pull you away a little bit from too much control, too much wanting to be in control, too much wanting to be practical, too much of following the rules, you know, more of the feeling. And I feel like that's exactly what if you're not trying to do that, you're being asked to do that, you know, through this experience. Let's do the Nine of Wands. In the potential outcome, the Page of Wands, the Judgment card, the Two of Pentacles. All right. Yeah, things are shifting, or things are wanting to shift. Definitely more towards feeling here. Towards pulling you more in the present moment, which is actually feeling. Because the more you're in the present, the more you're with what's in front of you, you know? And that's going to appeal to your senses. You're being really pulled into this direction, and of course there's a little bit of rejection to it. There's a little bit of, this feels uncomfortable. This doesn't feel necessarily natural, and no, it's not going to feel natural. And I also see you in there being like, am I doing this right? There is no right or wrong. There just is. That's the point of being in the moment. But you're definitely being pulled in the moment more and more. I don't know if it's through this experience or through the fact that maybe things are going a little into the extreme there when it comes to having control over things or being too practical about things. And that in itself might force you to, you know, just be and feel. So something's happening that's shifting you into that direction, which I feel like it's going to be a beneficial direction for you. Just gotta let it happen. And for now, I see some resistance to that. Well, you got 4 from the universe, but pretty much the same. 6 of Cups, Knight of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, High Priestess. Yeah, this is a soul connection that's very important, and you want to fight for it by the looks of it. You know, your energy is definitely going towards this situation. And I don't know if you realize, but this actual connection that's shown up here, I have no idea what's happening in it physically at this point. I don't really care. Energetically, it's actually teaching you a lot to stand in your power, to grow, you know, to listen more to how you feel, to listen more to your intuition. So whatever's happening here, it's helping you with that. So it's all working out for you in the end, which is great. Let me see from the Myths and Mermaids Oracle. Let's pull a final word for you. All right, so you got Archimboldo Mermaid. I have no idea what that is. Let's see what the hell is going on here. I don't even know if that's how you... if I'm reading it almost not even close to right. I don't know. But anyways. Make integrated use of your gifts. You have so many positive qualities, but lately you have been neglecting some of them. If you combine your talents and abilities, even if they do not seem connected, you will become a more dynamic person. So that's what you are. All right. Well, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.